one of my deep missions was to like repattern healthy platonic touch. We live in a culture where touch is really we're fucking or we're fighting.
Yeah.
It's like the extremes.
Totally.
There's not a lot of platonic touch where like touch is the first sense we develop. It's the first thing that we feel when we come out of the womb, and it always communicates the truth.
I feel like you only feel met by someone who can actually be inside of themselves.
Imagine if people actually knew what they were feeling and then could express it to each other.
You talk about presence a lot. How do you know that you're present inside of yourself? What does it actually feel like?
Yeah,
Hi and welcome. I am here today with Stephen Jaggers, a somatic practitioner, breathwork facilitator, and trainer. He created the method of SOMA+IQ. This is a potent breathwork system that transforms both the nervous system to induce profound states of relaxation and healing, but also empowers people to be their most alive, most vibrant, most integrated selves. I invited him here today because I got to know him in Austin, and we got to connect on our nerdiness around breathwork. And he blew my mind with his capacity not only to facilitate potent breathwork sessions, but his understanding of what he calls meta tools. Things like how to be present, how to attune to someone, how to stay in alignment even when someone is going through something very potent. And so this podcast is going to serve you if you are a practitioner, a facilitator, a coach, to be even better in the way that you hold space. And this is for all of you out there who want to be better lovers and better in romantic partnership, to be able to have those human skills that allow you to feel your partner, to touch your partner, and to be with your partner in a way that you come home to yourself. We discuss in this podcast the potent power of connection, how that's even more important right now than healing. And Stephen's going to guide me through a very short breathwork process and walk you through step by step how you can do these things, how you can become more attuned, how you can be more present inside of yourself, how you can say things that open up the moment, and how you can utilize the power of your touch to open up your client or your beloved. Welcome, Stephen.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So you are one of my favorite breathwork facilitators that I've ever come across. You really embody what it is that you teach. But more than anything else, I feel that you've really studied that, yes, it's about the breath, but more than anything else, it's the way that we are in relationship to each other. It is how we experience our own nervous system and then how we relate to the nervous system of another. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with you because we not only get to talk about the power of breathwork, what breathwork can do for us erotically and sexually, but you're going to walk us through on me how you can be attuned. And you really teach these concepts of attunement and connection and the power of touch in a way that is so deep and articulate. And it's something that I struggle with sometimes as a facilitator in really conveying to people how to be attuned and how to touch, which is so essential to sex and so essential to human connection, but very hard for a lot of people.
Yes. So I never thought that breath work would be the thing that I'm like, this is my thing. I was a body worker. I was a neuromuscular therapist for a long time. As soon as I got my hands on someone, like all of the stuff that I was reading in books, because I went to school for addiction psychology and wanted to go down that route of the mind. And then I was like, they're giving people diagnosis, and it just didn't resonate with that. Swung the pendulum to the other side, went down physical therapy, the body. They were looking at the body as this like mechanical thing. And I'm like, And then I found body work, and specifically like they taught all different types of Eastern body work, from cranial sacral therapy to polarity therapy to like the Western style of like neuromuscular therapy and postural rehabilitation. And so I think most of us are experiential learners, that I like, as soon as I got my hands on somebody, it all started to make sense to me because it made sensation, right? So yes, breath is just one facet of what we do, but it's more like you were saying, attunement is what I call meta skills. For a long time, I was asking myself, like, what makes someone a really good practitioner or a really good facilitator? It's not that you have the perfect protocol. It's not that you know all the techniques, the right things to say. It's your ability to, one, like stay aligned in yourself. Like, are you deeply connected to yourself? Like, is what you're saying to them, is it just resonating from your mind, or is it actually coming from your whole alignment? And only from that place can I actually attune to somebody.
Mm.
So it's like working on this vertical line within someone's self. Then we can start to work on the horizontal line. We can start to attune to somebody. We can host another person's experience, like within our own nervous system, without losing ourselves.
Mm.
And then from there, now we can start to play in the space.
Mm.
And there's this term that's like thrown around, holding space. Obviously, we've all heard about that. But really, it's like, cool, once I'm attuned to you, now how much can I welcome
Mm.
what's organically coming up for you?
Mm.
I'm not trying to fix or change you or like poke you to try to get something to come up with you. I'm like, can I witness all these small, minute details of energy fluctuation, just as in intimacy, right? And then when I'm attuned to that, okay, how do I orient myself through my words, through my sound, through hands on touch to welcome that part of yourself to kind of come up? And then the other meta skill, which there's so many, is range. Which, how much range do I have? Because I can only take somebody as deep as I've gone myself. And so those are those are the meta skills which are so essential before even getting to the breath work. Because the breath is just the driving force. It's a pump. It's a toggle switch that we have inside of ourselves that we can literally change our state at any time. But there's so many different things that we can do with breath work, and there's so many different types out there. And it really is like, what do you want to do with it first? And then we can start to kind of play with it.
Mm. Absolutely. And this quality, I love how you talked about being inside of yourself,
Yeah.
right? And the framework that I give in VITA coaching is to feel the pillar of yourself from your pelvic floor to the crown of your head. Like, do you know how to be inside of yourself? Because what feels like magic, I think, when you're receiving it from a practitioner or even receiving it from a lover or a
Yeah.
partner is actually that you are sitting inside of yourself such that you can listen to deeper embodied wisdom and not just to your head. Like the head wisdom feels unsatisfying in the relational and sexual and spiritual realm. Feels fine if you're trying to calculate
Yeah.
for a rocket ship or something like that, like the amount of
Yeah.
fuel you need. It's like, great, let's engage that part of the mind. But when it comes to feeling met, I feel like it's you only feel met by someone who can actually be inside of themselves.
Yeah.
And so because you have a breathwork school and you train facilitators, how do you teach people to sit down inside of themselves and how to stay there even when it gets challenging?
Yeah, it's such a good question.
All right, we're going to pause for just a moment and I'm going to invite you to join my email list. You might be like, email, but honestly, email is where I share my deepest teachings, my most personal stories, and my most outrageously good content. It's also where you can stay connected to all of the podcasts that I release and my programs where you can train more deeply with me. So if you want to join, head over to laylamartin.com and sign up with your best email address.
So the first thing that like has been a massive sort of paradigm shift for myself is like I've gone down my own healing journey, right? So many people are going on their healing journeys, and a lot of times we want to help others when really it's like we're trying to go down our own healing journey. But what's been a shift for me is like stop focusing on healing,
Mm.
because oftentimes when we're focusing on that, like I'm focusing on growth and healing, I'm creating like the opposing force that's saying something is broken.
Mhm.
So the big shift for me was like focus on connection.
Mm.
Like healing and growth are a byproduct of connection. Like from a somatic perspective, healing is the same as integration. We think integration is something that we're doing afterwards, but really like even sex can be an integration experience. It can help me weave the web of myself back together. So it's like going through this process of, for me, it's like I look at it from a bottom up perspective. Somatic means bottom up. So I usually start with just like, can I listen to the language of my body? Can I peel emotion out of it? Can I peel story out of it? Can I just hear what are the sensations going on in my body? And can I start to occupy all of the parts of my body? Can I know what's going on in my big toe or my hips or my back? And like the example I give is if anybody's went and got body work before, I'm sure you have before, but someone's pressed on something like on your back, your hips, or your shoulders, and you're like, oh fuck, that's tight over there. You're like, you weren't actually even aware of how tender it was there. So you actually aren't really occupying, you don't really know what's going on in that area. So for me, it does like w- working with another person relationally in any sort of capacity, whether it's body work, whether it's breath work, whether it's just like relational activities, they help us become more aware of ourselves so we can like start to occupy those parts of ourselves. So I start with the physical body, compartmentalize that from the emotion, because like, for example, if I were to ask you like, how are you feeling right now? Answer it.
How am I feeling right
Yeah,
now?
how are you feeling?
Well, I feel like I listened to you a little bit, so I want to answer somatically to get it right
Yeah.
of emotionally.
Oh, you're such a good student.
Taking over. Yeah, gold star, gold star. But somatically, I feel tingling in my toes.
Yeah.
I feel there's a weightiness to the energy because your eyes are exceptionally present. And so I've felt myself sitting down in response because there's a part of me that wants to meet the quality of your presence. In that, I feel a simultaneous, there's an aliveness, like I can feel sort of dancing energy. And my body's been, I've had a resurgence of tiredness this week. I'm going to also feel these sort of heavy places that feel slightly malaced. And I'm very aware of my posture. So I'm always trying to get my chest like back out and to not slouch. So there's like a little bit of like shoulder slouching and then like counteracting happening in it. And a little bit of, I notice as well, like a tiny contraction of because of the presence in your eyes, that starts making me feel like my soul can go infinite. And there's a tiny little almost ceiling because we're on camera. Like where like I'm keeping like a little bit of a ceiling on the full force of my energy.
Okay, so yeah, what the level of resource that you have inside yourself is immaculate. Okay, so
I'm glad I didn't fail the test.
Yeah, you didn't fail the test
on the podcast. I would have put it on live even if I had. How do you feel?
Well, let's go back for a second because I want
Okay.
to finish this thought.
Yeah.
So most of us, we ask each other how we're feeling,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, I'm good, or oh, I have so much going on, and I'm so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Where like most people answer that from their head, or they answer it from their body, or they answer it, some people answer it somatically.
Yeah.
Where it's like we need to be able to identify first, like where is it coming from? Because if I ask you how you're feeling, it might be I have pain in my body right now, I have pain in my back, which is different than I'm feeling like sadness right now. Or I'm feeling like I have so much fucking going on right now and everyone wants something from me, and that's the story in our mind. So that's the first thing that I start to help people like reconnect this vertical line of awareness within themselves so they can be resourced to know and sense within themselves like where are the things coming from, because they're always all connected, but the compartmentalization starts to show like where are they coming from. So I'll take someone through just the body, like just sensation, peel it apart from emotion, peel it apart from story. Okay, now let's go deeper into the emotion. And then there's also the aspect of being able to put it into words, which is like the precursor to relating, right? Imagine if people actually knew what they were feeling and then could express it to each other. And then once I kind of help someone identify like body emotions, then we move up to the story and see what's going on in the mind and try to take like the witness consciousness of like what are the stories that are playing in my head, because most of us are living up there and we think our thoughts are us, and then we just get thrown through loops and tunnels and the roller coaster of the mind, versus maybe my lower back's in pain, and maybe I'm feeling a little anger, and maybe the story in my head is that fuck, everyone wants something from me and I'm so overwhelmed. And then it's gonna like I'm going to naturally be irritable. But maybe it's actually I just like if my body's in pain, then I need to do something about that. And that's gonna shift my antenna. Right? It's gonna shift probably the story in my head. So just helping people to cultivate deeper awareness with themselves and to know where things are coming from, then we can start to like notice that within another person. Make sense?
Absolutely. And something, I don't know, I'm sure you feel this in people, but our culture has really encouraged people to collapse their internal experience.
Yeah.
Like to think that they are only what they're thinking, or that they should have one experience happening at any time. And there's like a whole circus going on. It's like a whole thing. Like your body's feeling all these things and your emotions, you can feel all these different ways in one moment. Your mind's having all these thoughts. And so it's interesting because I feel you inviting people to feel how multidimensional they are, that they've got these different layers of reality going on, and how you feel in your toe is different than how you feel in your higher self, is different than how your inner child's doing, is different than maybe the feeling in your heart. And sitting down and feeling the full experience of what it is to be you is so incredibly powerful.
Yeah, and just to, because a lot of times we'll go through that process and someone will try to like fix themselves through it.
Yeah.
So can you just name it without like putting pressure to change it? Can you look at it as like, this is a journal entry in time for this moment, and I might not be that way 10 minutes from now, or I might not be that way tomorrow, but it's a journal entry in time right now. And you would never like lie to yourself in your journal, right? That wouldn't really do any good. But you can't really take yourself anywhere if you aren't able to just be fully honest where you're at right now. It reminds me of that, Eckhart Tolle, his OG. He says it well, like stress is I want to be over there, but I'm actually right here. How often are we like, I want to be over there, but I'm actually right here? Can you let yourself be where you are at? And so it's a process of doing that first. And then from there, we can start to identify like wants, needs, desires. Most people, they think they know what they want, but they haven't consulted the entire like inner committee, if you will.
I reread The Power of Now recently, and I was like, this shit is good.
Shit's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It stood the test of time.
It's a test of time, right?
So you then use the word range, right, as part of a meta skill. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, because for me, part of range is allowing at first all those different parts to be. Like, how much of myself can I allow to be here in this moment?
Yeah.
And then it also feels like, how centered can I be in a whole range of human experiences as well? Because something that I feel has happened to our culture recently is we've taken on this weird story of fragility, where it's like, I need the external world to be a certain way so that I can be okay.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, gee, it'd be nice sometimes if the external world was more just or more fair or more sane or whatever, but I'm going to be okay no matter what. Like, I know how to be in myself in the whole range of universal experience. And I also feel that sometimes this is what is lost in a lot of practitioner trainings that you do get in breathwork, is the ability to take the lid off of the human experience and find yourself in the fullness of it.
Yeah, so I would like that's where kind of alignment balances with range. Like alignment, I look as like it's not you're in perfect posture. It's not that you're like always in yourself. It's knowing, okay, when I'm out of alignment, how long does it take me to bring myself back? It's the resilience piece that I think you're speaking to. It's like, if you're driving a car and your car's out of alignment and you do it for 2 years, well, then you're going to have a lot of damage, right? If it's 2 months, it's not going to be as much damage, but it's minimizing the time between knowing something's off and then like, can I bring myself back? The range piece is like how, like in a breathwork session, we'll just use that as an example. If I'm working with one person and they have like sadness that's coming up or grief, like, do I have the range to be able to go over there and like meet them and match them exactly where they're at? And I don't need to go like be in a pool of my own tears with them, but can I meet them with the same level of nurturing energy? And can I even take them a little bit deeper? Can I like take them through that process? And then maybe the person next to them is like going through a full anger release, and how quickly can I switch from that to then meeting someone in their power and intensity? And so a lot of us, like we all have our default state where we like to hang out. And then like, yeah, can I push my edges in a way in that?
Yeah, and I think as a practitioner especially, but this is also true as someone in a relationship, as a lover and a partner, someone can feel in their nervous system what range you allow in yourself. And I think also what level of alignment you can find in yourself. And I'm a really, I feel like I got to where I am as a practitioner because I lived in the jungle with wild tantric gurus, and I saw shit that would blow your mind, and I found my way home, right? So I consider one of the most powerful things we can do as humans is to find how to responsibly get outside of our comfort zone and grow. The word you used is the resilience of our nervous system. Like, how many domains of this universe can I find myself in and make myself okay in it, find my alignment in it? And then I love that you really talk about this meeting. I feel like this is the edge right now of human evolution, is that we used to be all about healing. And right now it feels to me like the most people on the cutting edge of this human evolution work are all starting to say a similar thing, which is the focus on healing makes you feel like something's wrong. And the focus on connection, the focus on intimacy, or even the focus on the opposite of healing. So I've said for a long time that the opposite of trauma is play. And then there's this beautiful poem by Chris, the co-creator, who he says, what if the opposite of healing is permission and pleasure and play, right? And instead of focusing on the healing, what if you focus on your play and your pleasure and your permission? And then, as I heard you say, whatever's meant to heal will. But you don't have to go in and decide that you know what needs to be healed.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to go outside to these trees and I'm going to say, okay, how do we fix you, or how do we improve you, or how do we change you? Like inside of an acorn, it knows that it can become an oak tree. It's not trying to. It's a slippery slope in the healing and personal growth place, where I think it's more about it's discovery. And we discover so much of ourselves in play. You can learn more about a person in an hour of play than 30 years of talking. Right?
I want to take a moment to pause this episode and share one of my favorite stories of transformation from the VITA coaching certification.
We're in our $4 million year. My name is Dr. Kimberly Rose Pendleton, and I am an intimacy coach. It wasn't until I enrolled in VITA that I felt like I could own the title of being an intimacy coach. That same year, I mean, my business really blew up. I know it's not an accident that I stepped into that container and I was like, am I a coach? Over into I can claim this. I'm the last person you ever would have thought would be making millions of dollars. Because if even I can thrive in this, there really is room for everybody.
If you feel called to upgrade your life and career with the most profound personal transformation tools and business training, learn more about VITA coaching at laylamartin.com/VITA coaching. It's VITA coaching.
Cool. Let's do some sex magic.
Cheers. So this is from my supplement company, Mood. And it makes you feel all glittery and activated. This is Sex Magic, and it's designed to basically make your body feel more glittery, more turned on. It's got all kinds of amazing herbs in it. It's sweetened with monk fruit. It's colored with beetroot. It's got this beautiful combination of saffron in it and shilajit and all kinds of activating things, dopaminergics that make your body feel more pleasure. It's really powerful. Oh, and huperzine A, which is a nootropic moss. That was like the thing we were the most proud of. We were like, we put so many herbs in it and it actually tastes good. Feel deeper arousal and heightened sensitivity in as little as 30 minutes. Try it now at shopmood.com. It's designed to be drank before you make love, or now before dance parties, or during podcasts or breath work, or anytime you just want to feel a little bit of a natural aliveness and buzz.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be curious, like, what is your definition of eros? Like, to me, it really just means aliveness. Like, it is my aliveness. And like, do I have the ability to focus my aliveness in a way and like channel it? I'm curious what your thoughts are as the eros queen.
So the way that I think about it is that we have the impulse of love that moves through the heart. And love can do so many things, right? It can make you love a pet, take care of a child, want to get into a relationship, fall in love with a sunset, write a poem. Like, love is the force that makes us want to unify with the universe in whatever way that looks like. And I feel like out of the third eye pulsates truth, discernment, and clarity and seeing. And what pulsates through our root is eros, which is the creative force of the universe. And that we tend to think of eros as only being about sex, but that's like thinking about love as only being about relationship. Like, love can take the form of relationships sometimes, and eros can take the form of sex sometimes. But we have a creative impulse that is alchemical with the whole of the universe. So like, you can feel eros with a tree, you can feel eros with nature, you can feel an erotic flow breastfeeding a baby, right? It's our lack of discernment that makes us think that eros means that we have to have sex, which would be as crazy as if we thought that loving something means that you have to marry it, right? Love is so much bigger than that. But we collapsed eros into just sex. Eros can be a signal sometimes that you want to physically have sex with something, but you can feel eros like watching a jaguar in the jungle, you know? Yeah. So yeah, to me, it is the creative force of the universe, and that eros flows when there's something that can be created between you and another being or another object in the universe. And sometimes the thing that wants to be created is sex or a baby, but most of the time it's something else. So I feel like when we really dance with eros, it's like we become so much more alive and turned on to the whole universe.
Does eros increase like when your heart is like when you're fully connected to this like vertical line within yourself? Obviously you can feel just eros down like in your sexual center, but like, does it intensify when you like have all of the parts of yourself turned on?
I find that to be the case. I find that when we are really present inside of the body, that the natural state of the human body is erotic. And on a spiritual level, if you go all the way in the tantric tradition, it's like the heart of every moment is something being created from nothing, which is the orgasmic impulse. It's the universe creating something out of nothing. So when you're also really deep inside of yourself, closer to the spiritual state, it's actually kind of an erotic feeling all the time.
Yeah, that's why I love, I mean, hindsight's 2020, and like breath work, because I have the body work background and the somatic background, and like breath work was just something that's like, whoa, the breath, like we're naturally attuning to each other all of the time. We're naturally attuning to each other's breath, but we don't, like, I had a moment in 2017, I was at the psychedelic conference, and I was, at that point I was teaching body work. I was doing a ton of body work, and I received a holotropic breathwork session by a man named Stan Groff, who he's the OG, right? And I had a friend say, okay, like, you need to go to this session. It's like, it's more powerful than psychedelics. And I'm like, okay, well, let's check it out. Through that session, I had more of I experienced like a pop in my thoracic spine, my solar plexus center. And like, I'm an only child. My parents were both addicts. They were addicted to stimulants, meth, cocaine, all of those things. And when I was about 17, I went to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, you have a little bit of scoliosis in your thoracic spine and your fire center. They didn't say fire center, but through my own work, I realized that, it's my fire center. And it's like the thing that was passed down to me. So I experienced this pop in my thoracic spine as I started to go into the breath work. And then I was flooded with anger, like more anger than I've ever experienced in my life. And as soon as that moved through me, underneath that was like a deep sadness. And it was like and then underneath that was like a deep grief. And then underneath that was like a deep forgiveness and joy, and then bliss and pleasure. And it's like I went through the full washing of my emotional experience. And it was like this clearing to become clear. And I saw so clearly, it's like I've been studying all these different types of body work my whole life, but what's the thing that's underneath it that's actually controlling the musculoskeletal system? It's the breath. And so before I'm a breath worker, before I'm a body worker, before I'm a coach, before I'm a teacher, I'm a breath worker. We're all breath workers because we're naturally attuning to someone's breath. And if somebody is holding their breath and I'm coaching them, or I'm literally trying to work on their physical body, it's not going to be landing, because if they're holding their breath, they're in a defensive state. So I started utilizing breath work first before any of the other things, just to help someone's nervous system start to feel more receptive and move out of these like defense states. So yeah, and then I started studying a lot of the different types of breath work, and there's so many. But I'm like, whoa, I'm actually a breath worker first, a body worker second. Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. It's so beautiful to feel who you are and how you show up in the world, and to now know more about your history and everything that you've been through in order to claim this level of presence and this level of power and even what you do in the world. It's incredible. And the question that came up for me around this is that, well, I have many questions, but the one that's here right now is, you've used the word attunement before. And this is something that I especially hear women wishing men knew more about. Obviously, we could all use more attunement. And it feels like sometimes this is something for men to really learn how to attune. Can you explain what is attunement?
Yeah.
And how do you teach people to do it, especially from the male perspective?
Yeah, it's such a good question. Attunement is how good am I at co-regulation? And then we'll get into co-regulation, but I'll give you an example. So if you're listening to this right now, or if you're watching it and you're with me right here, so you're listening and watching me, I am actually happening inside of you right now. So like you're taking me in with your eyes, you're taking me in with your ears. There is and it's going straight to your brainstem. And then it's like, how deep are you actually letting me into you right now? There is a Stephen that's happening. You're digesting me through your experience, and you're also scanning me for signs of like, is this motherfucker incongruent? Like, is he bullshitting? Right? Your nervous system's designed to pick up on little minute details that say like, okay, he's saying this, but his posture is this, right? And so attunement is like, how much can I actually host another person's nervous system? How much can I, another one would be like full body listening. Can I not just hear what you're saying? Can I not just like see you? But it's really that we want to be felt by each other.
Yeah.
Like we've all heard the term, I want to be seen and heard, right? Yes. We all want to be seen and heard. And it's like, if there's men or women out there in relationship, like, I wish my partner would like see and hear me. But I could look at you and I could see you and I can hear what you're saying, but that's not the thing that you want.
Yeah.
You want to be felt.
Yes.
And and like, it's the I'm feeling you, you feeling me, we're both feeling each other. Our nervous systems are designed to feel each other. And it doesn't mean that I need to take on another person's experience. And that's where like the alignment in oneself, can I hold another person without losing myself? Do I know what the difference between self and other is? But can I also like fully host another person inside of myself without needing to fix or change them?
Totally. For those of you who are just listening but not watching, you'll see that I keep cracking a smile because
I'm happening inside of you.
But the joke inside of my head is like, how many women are waiting for like a present, facilitating, very handsome man to look deep into their eyes and be like, I'm happening inside of you right now. Let me show you about my human skills. And then being like, I've been waiting for this. So I continue to crack up about that.
Yeah. We're happening inside of each other. And it's like, how far are you letting another person in?
Yes.
Are you just circulating them in your head, or have you let them into your heart? Can you let them all the way in? And another person can actually feel how far you've actually hosted their experience.
And then you have to care. Because I feel like sometimes people can feel you and they're very interested in their own agenda, which is also feels like a lack of attunement.
That's like, there's beyond these meta skills of alignment, attunement, range, holding space, and there's probably so many different ways to communicate them. Those are just the ways that have helped me like really define them. But what like the meta state beyond all of them is like pure curiosity. It's fascinating. There's like multiple studies out there, like physiologically, you cannot be in a state of pure curiosity and stress at the same time, and trauma and defensiveness. Like if I'm deeply curious about you, 'cause most of us, we think we're curious, but we're curious with an agenda. We're curious, but if I'm genuinely curious, I'm like, I want to see all of you. I want to know all of you. It's this welcoming energy.
Yeah.
That now there's a quote in The Body Keeps the Score that's healing happens in the presence of an empathetic witness, which I believe in absolutely. It's like all of our healing is a byproduct of connection, right? It happens between two people or more than one people. But you take it a step further, it's not just witnessing, it's like I can be an empathetic witness, but can I welcome you? Can I welcome you without agenda, without my judgment or desire to fix or change you, or like these sneaky little ways that we want something? And even beyond that, I don't think that we can fully get rid of agenda. Like we all have agendas.
Totally.
But can we be aware of it so they're not like running the show, right?
Yeah, or be honest and transparent about them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is my agenda right now.
Yeah, totally. So my question for you would be, what does it feel like when you're not attuned? Right? So for someone listening to this right now, or someone who like has gotten feedback that they're not attuned enough, what does it feel like inside? Because you just described what attunement feels like, right? Like I can feel you and your nervous system, and I'm aware of subtleties. I'm picking up on what you're signaling to yourself and to the environment, right? So I am not just curious, but I can feel if you're getting tired. I can feel if you're in distress. I can feel if you're really enjoying this connection right now. I can feel if your body needs something, right? And so you'll feel really attuned to when I can feel you the way that you're feeling yourself usually. And that means that I'm conscientious of what's happening for you and I'm honoring it in some way, shape, or form. And also not losing myself in it, right? Because I'd say that's a big issue for lots of people. And especially feminine people, is I will attune to you so that I don't have to feel myself.
Exactly.
Right. And so I love that you're really pointing back to actually fully be attuned to someone, you have to stay in yourself. Because if you're lost in the other person, you're going to become codependent, which is I'm not actually attuned to you. I'm trying to make you okay so that I can be okay.
Yeah. And it's like, if I'm not connected to myself and then I go to attune to another person, it's actually not me in the attunement. It's actually a facade of me, or it's a disconnected version of me. And personally, I don't think there's anything else that like wreaks havoc on our nervous system more than that, like the enmeshment. Like for those listening, if you pull up like the three people that you're closest to in your life, and you just like in your mind, can you see the connection between you and that person? And do you feel like you are the connected version of yourself in that relationship? And if you're not, then it's like, I can only be this part of myself with this person. And I can only be this part of myself with this person. And then I can only be this part of myself at my job, right? Well, having to shift and change yourself takes a tremendous amount of energy
Mm.
versus like when I am fully connected to myself, and then I'm able to be that in all of my relationships. It's generative versus like it's not going to steal my energy.
Mm.
It takes more energy to suppress parts of myself than it does to just naturally allow my fullest expression to come out,
Mm.
right? But to answer your question, like what does it feel when I'm not attuned? Attunement naturally is a musical term,
Mm.
like to tune an instrument,
Yeah.
right? So to me it feels like when I'm not attuned, it's like we're playing different songs, like we're on a like we just can't figure out the understanding between us. Like
Mm.
it's like when a guitar is out of tune, and if you've ever been around two people that are playing an instrument and one of the instruments out of tune, it's just there's not this resonance, there's not this flow between us, right? And attunement is that skill of can I connect to you, and then can I come back to myself, and can I deeply connect to you, and then can I individuate? It's like the breath in between that as well. And a lot of the times when we don't have like the healthy meta skill of attunement balance with alignment, I'll get stuck in like, okay, I can't feel you.
Mm.
And then or it's like, let me feel all of you, and
Mm.
now I can't feel myself.
Mm.
Right.
Mhm.
And I think that what like the the epidemic that I see in the world right now is disconnection, but it's more than that. It's apathy. I think apathy is the thing that we feel when we're not attuned to.
Mm.
And when you're a child, like we're designed when we're a child, we have to co-regulate to our parents. We're not designed to self-regulate yet. We haven't gone through the individuation process, and our parents are supposed to teach us how to self-regulate through co-regulating with them. We're plugged into them. They are our world. Anything that they're experiencing is what we're going to experience internally. Like for me as a child, I witnessed all this dysregulation, and a lot of us feel like, oh, it's our fault,
Mm.
right? But
Yeah.
it's really just because we're plugged into them. So when you're a child and you express a need, like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom, or I need food, and you cry out for something, and then there's no sort of attuned response back to you, well, you do that enough times, then you start to feel like, wow, what I say or do doesn't matter.
Mm.
Or I'm not in co-creation in this reality. So you fast forward to an adult, it's like, cool, I'm not in co-creation. Then I can like, well, cool, I can't really feel myself, so I can't feel other people. I'll dump toxins in a river 100 miles away because it's not affecting me right here. And then we don't realize that that water will eventually make up the water in our children's children, right? So lack of attunement, lack of being attuned to, or lack of attunement in yourself, it feels like apathy in a
Yeah.
way where I definitely can't feel you if I can't feel myself.
Mm. And I think one of the pieces with attunement is that if you've been non attuned your entire life and you start to feel yourself, the first things you're probably going to feel are all the ways that your parents weren't attuned to you, all of that self rejection or all of that sadness. And I've really been feeling, especially in the last couple of months, just how someone's relationship to their own pain body really dictates their capacity in relating. Because no matter how much work I did on myself solo, the moment I would look into someone's eyes, I would feel the legacy of my PTSD, the legacy of my childhood abuse. And the way back to feeling and being felt was straight through those really painful pieces. But what's interesting, if you don't know that in the relational field, is let's say I look into your eyes and you're really meeting me, and I start to feel my PTSD. The way that we're trained is to believe that that is you.
About me.
It's about you. It's our dynamic. There's something wrong. And so I will run from that,
Yeah.
which obviously this is very nuanced, right? This
Yeah.
is assuming that there's nothing abusive going on, there's nothing super unhealthy, all of that. But right now, I've watched specifically so many men, I'll say it, women do it too, people of all genders do it. I've seen men very recently run from some of the most beautiful partnerships
Yeah.
because that process was starting to happen of relating so deeply,
Yeah.
and the all of the painful things in the way of sitting down inside of yourself and coming home to yourself coming up. And if you don't know how to relate to your own pain body, you don't know how deceptive and hypnotic your own pain body can be and how much it can convince you into stories about reality. I feel like humans won't sit down and do the connected work to come home to themselves. And the saddest thing about that to me is that's what we're all actually really longing for,
Yeah.
is to, as you said, be heard and felt, to connect to others. It's the opposite of all the pain and dissociation we're feeling. And I feel the same way too. If people could feel each other that way, they would stop poisoning the rivers and hurting each other and going to war. Like, you can only do that if you've dissociated and started to dehumanize yourself and others.
Yeah, the same disconnect that's happening from our mind to our body is the same disconnect that's happening from me to my neighbor, or me to my food, or me to the people on the other side of the world. It's all macro to micro, right? And that's why, like, for me, like, breath work is it's the foreplay to presence.
Mm,
But it's the thing that connects your mind back to your body.
mm.
It's like the quickest way to reconnect the overwhelm of the mind back to the intelligence of the body. And so, yeah, what I've been experiencing, that I've been in a new relationship dance, and one of my patterns, because I grew up in a like super dysregulated household, is I would try to fix everything. Like, I was super hyper vigilant, and if something was off, then I would make it my responsibility and try to fix the thing. So
Me too.
partner, if you, yeah, 100%, I'm a fixer, right? That's why
And a fuser.
these meta skills, like holding space, if you will, for me, it's can you create a space for someone to take up space without trying to fix them, the fix it mentality where you're putting pressure on them. um like, in relationship, it's been tough for me when my partner is going through something, to not take it on myself,
Mm,
to not, like, cool, is it something I did? Like, okay, cool, it's not something I did. Like, how do I fix it?
mm,
Right? Can I actually just be there with them without needing to change it? And can I hold it for a little bit too? Like, there's a difference between suppression and containment, in a way. Like, can I contain and let this person, like, chew on it for a little bit? Because sometimes it doesn't need to be expressed right away. We don't need to get to the thing, right?
mm. Yeah, that was one of the greatest gifts my partner gave me. I mean, he's given me so many gifts, but hidden underneath, I need to fix you, or and I can be hyper vigilant and like hyper aware of my environment, is also then, oh, if I think I can fix you, then you could probably fix me too.
Yeah.
Like, if we got to the place where you were fixed, then you could fix me, kind of thing. And my partner's been very, very good at, I love you and I'm
Yeah.
here for you and I'm not going anywhere, but I cannot heal this thing for you. Like, I can't heal your pain body, nor can you heal mine. And
Yeah.
we can love each other and be with each other and choose each other, but that is yours to do. And at first, that was incredibly painful for me because I had to actually be in relationship to my pain body rather than secretly hoping that if I just focused on everyone else or found the perfect partner, that would resolve my pain body rather than just being in direct relationship to it, which sounds like a simple thing to do, but is actually somehow so excruciating. It's the human condition. Wild.
Yeah, I think for me, and I've just been trying to define this for myself, like, what is the quality, well, like, beyond anything, what is the quality that I want in a partner? Like, what do I actually want? Not who should I be with, or all the different impressions that have been pressed into me, but more than anything, like, I want to trust that my partner is going to be connected to their vertical line within themselves. Like, that doesn't mean they're going to be perfect all the time. Or they're going to, like, I want to trust that they're going to go through the process for themselves, that they're going to feel themselves, that they're going to work on all the parts of themselves that are numb, that they're going to like notice when they're out of alignment and at least put themselves in position to bring themselves back, right? Beyond anything. Like that's what I want, because only from that place can you have two pillars that can actually create a solid connection between each other.
Hallelujah. All right. Shall we do the breathwork session? Do you want to guide it?
Yeah, let's so I think what would be cool, probably so many people have done breath work. I'll take you through a little breath work, but beyond that, I would love to showcase just um like how I break down nervous system communication,
Mm.
like while I'm guiding somebody. So this could be applied to like intimacy in a
Yeah.
way, or this could be applied to a breathwork session. This could be applied to a coaching session or bodywork session.
Yeah.
It's the same thing because we're in this negotiation, if you will, this deep communication beyond our words. And I think it would be cool to kind of showcase that, how that works.
Because I'm a firm believer, I mean, breathwork is a huge part of our coaching certification because I think it's so powerful. But I also believe that anyone who wants to be an outstanding lover should not only practice breathwork,
Yeah,
but do some sort of facilitator training because
Yeah.
that is really how you learn to be with the human body.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's innate inside of all of us. Like all of these skill sets, like hands-on touch,
Mm.
like it's a language that we all should speak. And it's kind of been weeded out of our culture. But before we dive in, a couple things I'll say is that like there are so many different types of breath work,
Mm.
and like they're all good for different things. The breath work that I teach is relational. So it is like practitioner client, or it is like someone's guiding and someone's receiving, because I do believe that like healing is a byproduct of connection. So this isn't necessarily a self practice. We have a lot of self practices out there. There's so many people teaching that, but this is more of a relational guided practice.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you want the most outrageously orgasmic pussy, if you want to have the most exquisite and luscious sexual experiences of your entire life, the most effective tool for this is called the crystal egg. This is a crystal that you pop up your pussy, and essentially you do a type of yoga with it, meaning you learn different breathwork practices, different strength building exercises, and different ways to use your sexual energy that enhance sensitivity, pleasure, and your sexual magnetism. This is my absolute favorite practice. It transformed my sexuality, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I teach it in a program called Crystal Pleasure. This is a 6-week-long training that gives you everything you need to know about this amazing tool so that you can have the most exquisite sexual experiences. You can sign up for this program by heading over to laylamartin.com/crystal pleasure.
Okay, so I'm going to take you through what I call the order of operations. And that is just the way in which we like work through somebody's field, because your nervous system, it's the electrical system of your body, but it's not just happening inside of your body, it's happening around your body as well. You have an electrical bubble around you that like we can all feel each other's electrical bubble, and there's so much communication that's happening on that level before I even say anything or utilize my hands-on touch. And so the four modes of communication really are space, where I'm at in the space, how much space is between us. It's sound, which sound is pure somatic release. There's no definition behind sound. Like if I just go, right, it doesn't need to be digested by your mind. Then we have words, which words are the carrier of meaning, and they are powerful, but they also need to be ran through your mind so we can understand like what we're saying. And then there's touch. So space, sound, words, touch. And so I'm just going to show you how I would work through those, so I don't just like run up and start touching her right away, right? I gotta actually earn it, right? I gotta earn it. And that way we can like negotiate our nervous systems, and I can really, why this is important is so I can help her to like deactivate all the defense systems And so she can cultivate her own sensitivity or whatever wants to be expressed through her. So
Who at home wants to deactivate all their defenses?
all their defense systems, right? You want to do that with your partner. Right? I'm not trying to actually like trigger their defense systems. I'm trying to create a safe space for what is naturally wanting to like move through her, whether it's intimacy or whether it's a breathwork session or whatever session it is. So let's what I utilize is circular deep breaths. You can go in through the nose or mouth, whatever feels good for you, and just there you go. Start to bring that breath all the way. And it's not about how fast you go, it's about how deep can you pull the breath? Can you occupy your whole respiration? Can you pull it all the way down to your like root? And then just keeping it circular. There you go. If the body wants to move, you can let it move. So the first one is space. Like where I'm at in the space changes things. In a typical session, I wouldn't just like sit right next to her because maybe the closer I get to her, the less her body wants to move, right? Maybe there's so many subtle things that are being communicated. Maybe if I move away from her, more things want to start moving. So where I'm at in the space changes things. And like, can you be aware of where I'm at in the space? Is it taking her deeper into it? Is there more movement going on? Is there less? There's sometimes where I might be with a client and there's tears coming up, but I move closer to them and then it stops. And so I'm like, okay, let me back up a little bit. And they don't want me all up in their business. So, space, where I'm at in the space. And then the next one would be sound. So, sound, you could just use breathing sounds. There you go. I'm just going to match her breath exactly where it's at. There you go. So sound, if she starts making a sound, I'm going to match her in that sound. And then I'm going to just like raise her like 10% in that sound. Just giving her permission to just go a little bit deeper into that sound. The next thing I have words, right? So we matched sound, and like it's important to go slow through these. The slower you go, the more that you'll feel, the more that you'll pick up on little subtle things. And then comes words. Words can be incredibly powerful, but they need to be spoken simply and broadly. If you've ever been with a lover or it's a client, like you'd say something and it's like, that didn't really land. So words spoken simply and broadly, they give enough space for her to come up with the answers for herself, right? If I said, breathe into, what happened when you were 12 and your dad left, like the more specific I make the words, the less space there is for her to land within herself. So my words, I could say, how does your body want to move? That's it. Let yourself feel it fully. Feel it in every one of your cells. Yeah, right there. Okay, now we'll get to hands-on touch. So now that I've kind of worked through space, sound, words, her body knows where I'm at in the space. Like I would never just run up and just use hands-on touch first. But what I could say is I could use my words. And I could say, breathe all the way down here. Yeah. You notice I use my words first. I said, breathe all the way down here. And then my hand lands on the belly. I'm preparing her body for hands-on touch. Right. Then I'm matching breath, matching sound. That's it right there. See if you can expand just a layer deeper. My hand just can land on the belly. I don't need to do anything. Hands-on touch is not, it's not massage. I'm not trying to like work something out of her. With touch, whether it's intimacy or whether it's, somatic work, my hand is helping her to become more aware of herself. I want her to become more aware of wherever my hand's at. So if it's on the belly, it's helping her body become more aware. That's it. And this could lead into so many other techniques. Her body wants to go into unwinding and movement. And so what I would say is if her body's starting to move, I'm going to take my hand off because I don't want to stop the organic movement of her own body. That's it. How does your body want to move? Let it move fully. Okay, let's take one deep breath in, hold it for a moment. Just connect to your heart. What is it saying? Whenever you're ready, you can let it go, let it out. Just let it out slowly. Elongate your exhale. Let's do one more breath. And elongate your exhale. Slow it down as much as you can. When you elongate your exhales, you naturally send your body into a parasympathetic state. You naturally take it into a slow, relaxed state, which is going to increase levels of sensory awareness within her. And you can slowly start to bring your awareness back. How are you doing? Breathing all of the parts of yourself back in, all of your attention back into your body. Yeah. I'm curious how that was for you.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Mm.
And of course, that would be like if I was taking you through a full breathwork session that's an hour long, there would be a full journey and arc of different experiences. And sometimes maybe you're asking for space. And that's why, like, through those, this nervous system communication, this attunement, this awareness to all these little things and this, like, this order of operations so that I can actually, like, work through and really just welcome what's organic for you, because the opposite of that would be I'm trying to get something out of you, I'm trying to like get you to emote, or I'm trying to get you to feel something, versus like, especially for men out there, like deep listening to what's actually coming up for them, what part of their body is asking to be touched, right? It's the same thing when you're working with someone through an emotional process. What is naturally organic for them that's bubbling up? And how do I orient myself in a way that gives permission for them to go a little bit deeper into it?
Mm. So you talk about presence a lot. How do you know that you're present inside of yourself? Like, what does it actually feel like?
Yeah, it feels like all of me is here and on board and like knows what the job is, right? Like all of me is here. Like I'm able to witness the full capacity of whatever's happening like in that moment. And
Mm.
like it's probably easier to explain like what is not presence.
Yeah, what is not presence?
One of my teachers, his name's Thomas Hubel. Have you heard of him?
Mhm.
He says presence is integrated history.
Mm.
It's like integrated past.
Mm.
So meaning that like if I he talks about what's called after time.
Mm.
Like if I had an argument this morning with my girlfriend and there's a part of me that's still kind of playing that in the back of my mind, or there's this to-do list or these other things that are going on inside of me, or there's like emotions that I haven't been letting myself feel around that, well then that's called after time. And it's like how much time in the present moment am I still digesting and thinking about or feeling whatever happened in the past.
Mm.
So it's like the opposite of presence is part of me is still in the past,
Mm.
right? Or I'm moving into the future, but
Yeah.
it's like all of me is here and it knows what it's doing, and I'm able to like fully take in the like the capacity of whatever's happening in the moment.
Yeah, like a phrase I use for it is your breather is your universe.
Yeah.
And you could say the same thing, like your lover is your universe. You're not feeding, as you're saying, your
Yeah.
past. You're not feeding your agenda. You're not in your head worrying about story. You're just completely here with them.
Yeah.
Like they are your universe, and your art is to just be with them. And I feel like that's, yeah, it's hard to explain exactly what presence is, but the more that you cultivate it, the more that you notice when you're not in it.
Yeah, yeah, and like when I'm deeply present, I'm here to dance.
Mm, mm, mm,
I'm
mm.
here to dance. I'm not trying to get to a certain place on the dance floor. I'm not trying to like get a certain outcome, which can really block intimacy, and it can
Yeah.
even block like what's actually organically coming up for somebody. But it's like I'm here to flow and be in the moment and just like deeply curious, like what's happening now,
Oh,
and then like what's happening now,
mm.
and then what's happening now.
Yeah, that curiosity. And when it comes to attunement, right? What things are you looking for in me? Like, how are you feeling me?
Mm, yeah, I'm noticing subtle details of energy fluctuation. So it's like maybe your body's moving, or maybe there's like a little quiver in the lip, or maybe there's like, quivering of the eyes, or maybe there's like sweatiness in the palms. I I received a session from this woman like when I first started this work, and I was sweating from my hands and my feet, and she picked up on it, and she saw it, and she used a verbal cue that was like, you let so much water out of your hands and your feet. Do you ever let water out of your eyes? And I just started like raining, right? So I'm just noticing like what is being communicated, because your nervous system is it's communication is a two-way street, right? It's picking up on everything that's going on in the room, but everything that you are being is being communicated outward. So another thing I'm looking for is like, is there skips in the breath too? Like some people, they'll take a breath in and they'll go, and like I'll be able to see like where's the skip in the body. It'll kind of tell me where there might be some sort of stuckness that just wants to like be freed up in some sort of way. So I'm looking for little skips in the breath, little twitches, little movements of the body, clenching of the fists. I mean, the eyes will tell you so much as well. Like the eyes will tell you everything. And some people call it like, for me, I believe that intuition is just like deep nervous system sensitivity.
Yeah.
Like it's just picking up on very, very subtle things. And maybe those subtle things are like in the field, or maybe some people, I'm not necessarily like a visual person, but maybe some people like see it, but I feel it. I feel it in the feel. I can feel even before I put hands on somebody, I can feel like how relational do they feel? How open and receptive is their body before I try to move forward? Or like if there was a woman one time where, um, yeah, I was, every time I would move closer to her, like I wanted to work with her, the closer I would get, and I'm talking about like centimeters, I would just move like a centimeter closer, her process would stop a little bit. And to like the framework that I teach for this, what you're looking for is there's really only three potentials that can happen. And I would imagine this would be the same with like intimacy as well, is however I'm being or saying or whatever I'm doing can either take a person one deeper into whatever's like organically coming up. It's going to stay the same where it's at, or it's going to take them out. If it's taking them out, then I might back my way out of those. If I'm like hands on touch, I might like just give them a little bit of space. If it's taking them deeper, then it's telling me, cool, I can continue, right? I'm always listening for those three potentials. If it's staying the same, well, then I'm asking myself, like, how do I orient myself to give this person permission to go into whatever they want to go into?
And how do you know what to say?
How do I know what to say? That's probably been the hardest for me, because my background is body work. I think I went down that route because I like to communicate with my hands more than my words.
Yeah.
When you when you're with a client and like you just are like meeting them even before the session, all of the things that they're saying and all of the things that are being communicated, like that's giving you things to give them permission, right? For me, I'm like, my words are just reflecting like, how do I invite somebody to do more of what they're already doing? The body's just looking for completion. So how do my words match what, like, how do I invite them to just go deeper into whatever's already going on? And like, that's why I use the like, keep your words simple and broad, because you need to see like every time I say something, even if someone's breathing, something's going to be communicated back. If you're with your lover and you're saying and you're utilizing words in a romantic way, like if you say something, you can like, you'll know when those words land because it'll ripple through their body.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. And then it's like, cool, I can go further into that. Right. Versus like, we've all said something and someone's body's been like, that didn't really land for me.
Yeah.
And then on that, can you not take that personal, still stay with them, and then like reorient yourself. Cool, that didn't land. Let's see what will.
Yeah. And I love just the deep attentiveness to the power of touch. And like, may we never forget that as practitioners or with our beloveds, just the potency of that connection.
It's so, I mean, before going down all this route, like one of my deep missions was to like repattern healthy platonic touch. We live in a culture where touch is really, we're fucking or we're fighting.
Yeah.
It's like the extremes. There's not a lot of platonic touch where like touch is the first sense we develop. It's the first thing that we feel when we come out of the womb, and it always communicates the truth. Like words, we can tell each other lies, but if someone's really tuned in and they put their hands on you, you can feel everything that's being communicated.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much. This has been so special.
Yeah, it's been so fun. There's so many other things we could dive into.
I think this is very beautiful for how people hold each other and feel each other and touch each other. And I said to you just before this podcast, like that actually is what makes great lovers. That is what makes great facilitators, is these meta skills, really. And we talk about it sometimes, but we don't usually have the opportunity to break it down in quite this way.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure to do it with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like another way to look at it for me has been, it's human intelligence. Yeah. As AI and tech continues to grow, and whether you're for or against it, but like, what are the things that make us human? What are the things that everything that we just went through, it's nothing new. It's already inside of you. Like it's innate inside of you. So how do we develop those skill sets? Because that's what's going to, I mean, in my opinion, that's what's important as a human, right?
And those skill sets make being human super pleasurable. Like when you are present and attuned to others and have the capacity to be intimate, this makes life worth living. It's really that simple.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to live a deeply connected life?
Yay! All right. Well, we'll share all of your info down below on YouTube, on Spotify. But where can people find you if they want to work with you further?
Yeah, they can check us out at somaticbreathwork.com, Somatic Breathwork, Instagram, YouTube. You can find me, Stephen Jaggers, everywhere you look.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Layla. Yeah, that was great.
Thank you for listening to this Tantric Life. I am Layla Martin. This is the home for the realist conversations about sex, spirituality, polarity, conscious relationships, and all kinds of topics that help us live the absolute most incredible lives. Please check out the next episode. Please go ahead and leave your rating and review on Spotify or Apple or YouTube. It's so helpful when you do that. If you want to stay connected to me, the most helpful supportive thing you can do is to head over to laylamartin.com, sign up with your email address. That connects you to me if you want to study deeper with me, if you want to receive my deeper teachings. I do it predominantly via email. Finally, you can check me out on Instagram at @the Layla Martin. And thank you so much for being here.